And for this, I would be inviting Mr. Ajai Sachchar, Chief Business Officer, Practus. So, Mr. Ajai Sachchar is a seasoned business leader with 17 plus years in CXO consulting, strategic planning, and advisory sales. As Practus Chief Business Officer, he derives 10x revenue growth, emphasizing client success and solving critical business issues. Passionate about fitness, sports, and travel, he thrives on collaboration and emerging tech discussions. Connect for business, investments, tech, or wellness conversations.
Start the counter because I was 2 minutes late. So I want to make sure that I don't get the bell ring during when I'm speaking. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ajai Sachchar. I represent a company called Practus. And before I start my presentation, the presentation is all about how we as a company provide ROI to our clients. And I want to make sure that everyone sitting in the room is getting ROI for the next 15 minutes. And if I don't, then the lunch is on me. So can I have the video on, please?
In a world of constant change, businesses need to stay ahead of the curve. But how can they navigate the disruptions of the digital economy, where traditional ways of doing business are being replaced by new technology? That's why Practus was created. We know that merely understanding our client's business is not sufficient. We follow through with actions and take responsibility for the results. We are pioneering the implementation consulting business by leading the way for consulting firms to think and act globally. At Practus, we don't just advise our clients. We work alongside them to implement solutions that deliver tangible results ranging from 3x to 12x ROI.
Practus was formed about 10 years back to assist investors, business owners, founders, and managements to improve enterprise valuation in their companies.
At Practus, our purpose is to deliver an ROI and improve business outcomes significantly for our customers.
Most of our solutions provide anywhere between 3x to 12x ROI, which makes it a win-win situation for both us and the client.
We were born to solve what we call as the implementation problem. And that's when clients call us. When they need someone who can roll up their sleeves and take operational responsibility.
We are fundamentally looking to alter the way in which consulting firms operate and deliver value to its customers.
We are Practus.
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 Yeah, thank you. So this is who we are. Over the next 15 minutes, I will just try and explain what we as an organization have been doing for the last 17 years now. We started way back in 2007, and this is slightly dated now. We have crossed this 15-year mark in 2022, and we are stepping into 2024. We started with a pure play CFO services firm where we were helping mid-sized organizations to play the CFO role for them. So instead of they hiring an in-house CFO, they will hire Practus, and earlier we were known as My CFO. Over the period of time, what we realized is that there is a large market opportunity for us where CFOs like you are already in the organization running the ship successfully, but there are some challenges that you guys are facing. It could be challenges around cash flow improvement or an EBITDA improvement or automation or anything around that. And we felt that probably we need to foray into that space, and that's when we kind of started another service line called performance improvement. And I will talk about that just in a bit. Started way back in 2007, we started in India, but we very quickly forayed into Middle East and in the US in 2016. Probably the only professional services firm in India which has also raised a VC money. And when we started as a pure play CFO services firm, hence the name was My CFO. But we realized that probably the branding was not in line with what we were doing. We were doing a lot of digital transformation and tech implementation, which probably was probably diluting the whole brand of My CFO. And that's when we rebranded ourselves to Practus. And again, we won a Great Place to Work certification 2 years in a row now. So this is in nutshell who we are. In the last 17 years now, we have served close to 1,000 clients. Again, equal participation from the women, so focusing on the diversity as well. Out of the 1,000 clients, if you could see, 40%, which is 400 plus clients, are from the family managed, promoter driven companies, and about 200 plus unicorns and funded startups, maybe 200 VC and PE funds that we work with, helping their investee companies. This is in a nutshell who we are from a leadership standpoint. One thing that we have focused on very judiciously is that we have invested in people. We have not compromised on that, so entire leadership team that you see are either from the big fours or the top consulting firms. So what started as a pure play CFO services firm way back in 2007, today has become a full business problem solving consulting firm. So on the first line, what you're seeing is the office of CFO, where promoters, owners have taken the organization to a certain level, but beyond that, they are not able to scale because they just have an accounts head and they don't have a strategic person to kind of take them to the next level. That's where we play the CFO role. But the middle portion, which is finance transformation, is something which is more relevant to the audience sitting in the room, where the organizations already have CFOs like you, but you guys are struggling with one of the two problems. One, either you're struggling with the capability in your team or you're struggling with bandwidth. So we are here to solve both. Now, the projects that we really take on are very tangible and time-bound projects. So if you look at any ERP implementation or a BI implementation or any kind of tool implementation, that's where our skill comes into the picture. As an organization, we would have worked with close to about 150 or 200 IT tools. Again, none of the tools are ours. It could be tools like expensing, which the client does not have the functional or the technical expertise, and we work with partners, but we make sure that the entire implementation end-to-end is our responsibility. Again, we don't come from an advisory angle like Gartner's. We don't come from a consulting experience like the Big Fours. What we really do is the implementation part. We do the advisory, we do the consulting, and then we implement as well. So we roll up our sleeves and get the job done for you, rather than just leaving it to you to implement that. I think that's one biggest gap that we realized the CFOs face today. They want somebody to come, take the ownership, get the job done, and then move out. So that's what we do. So any of the projects that you look at, whether it is digital transformation or projects like, say, cash flow improvement. So if a client or a CFO is facing a very high DSO, then we will come, solve the problem, bring the DSO down, get the working capital in the bank, and then move out. So I think that's where our tangible, outcome-driven methodology has really worked for clients and for us. Again, we are in the age of data analytics, so capabilities around your visualizations, and it could be any of the BI layers. It could be a Power BI or a Tableau or a Click. So we are, again, tool agnostic. What we really focus on is which technology, which tool really helps the client's environment. So it's not necessary that from an ERP standpoint, there are, say, 50 plus ERPs available in the market. Let's say today, SAP S/4HANA is inarguably the best ERP in the market today, but may not be the best for you. So what we really do is we identify which ERP suits your environment, your requirement, and then we suggest that. I think one of the biggest challenges that CFOs today face is when they are scaling up the businesses is the broken processes. So how do we fix that? So coming in with a implementation focused mindset, we identify the process gaps, and then we fix that. So things around business process re-engineering, drafting SOPs is something that we could also take on. Again, individual projects which are, say, once in a lifetime kind of opportunities for a CFO. It could be, say, an IPO preparedness or mergers and acquisitions. These are not the activities that CFOs will be having day in, day out in their operations. So we again take on these projects on a 6 months, 12 months, 24 months basis. So this service has been going on for the last decade plus. Last couple of years, we started venturing into the non-finance side. So as the role of a CFO is evolving, it's becoming more business partnering role, and it's not restricted only to finance. And that's when we felt that maybe we need to evolve and need to help the promoters get a better grip on the business side. So inefficiencies around non-finance, so it could be your manufacturing excellence or supply chain optimization, shop floor automation, Industry 4.0. So that's what we started doing about a couple of years back. Again, with the lens of technology, our solution is always tech-led and not people-led. Obviously, the implementation will be done by people, but to solve any problem, we don't think deploying 10 more people will solve the problem. For us, putting the technology in the front and then solving the problem so that it is scalable. These are again some of the examples that you see that as an organization we really suggest our clients. So as an organization we are very tool agnostic, and because we have worked with about 1,000 plus clients across various industries, we have implemented one of these tools somewhere in the other in our client's ecosystem. I'll give you guys to take the pictures so that. From an industry standpoint, again, we have been very industry agnostic and consciously so, because our expertise really is industry agnostic. We are solving the functional problem, but at the same time, for some of the clients, having those deep industry expertise is also very, very important. And when you end up helping 1,000 plus clients, and there are about, say, 10 industries, 10, 15 industries, you invariably end up helping a large chunk of each industry client. So 50, 60 clients in each industry, that's what we have been able to help. Maybe 1 or 2 industries that we have consciously stayed away, like government. Obviously, the decision making is much slower and also a lot of bureaucracy, so we have kind of stayed away from that. We want to stay involved with companies which are more hungry and faster in decision making. I have 10 more minutes, and I'm still on the clock. These 4 things which really differentiates us from the other consulting firms or other boutique firms, which clients have really appreciated, and this got validated over a period of time. The first and the biggest most was the technology as a solution. Like I mentioned, again, supplying people is not the solution. Even today, CFOs have the mindset that, look, if I have a problem, I need 2 more people. I need 4 more people to solve this problem. We've stayed away intentionally from that, because then that becomes more like a secondment, and there is no difference between CFO doing that, CFO solving that problem in-house versus he's giving it to somebody like us who takes the ownership. So what we have said that, look, you give the problem to us, we will solve it for you. And whether we use 2 people or 4 people doesn't really matter. We will try and solve it through technology. Because when you're scaling up 2x, 3x in a very short time, supplying people will not really solve that. Second, which is build, operate, and transfer model. Here, we are not here to replace the people that you have. What we really solve for is the capability gap that you have today. And if you're looking at, say, implementing an ERP, I'll just take that example. It's a 8 to 10 months project. If you are trying to do it in-house, what is that you will do with those people after 10 months, after the project is over? So what we really do is we identify the issue or identify the problem statement, build a solution around that. It could be solutions around reconciliation. So build a solution around that, operate it for you, run it successfully, and then after that, hand it over to your team. Train your people. Once the system is absolutely working, spin and fine, is when we move out. Again, like I mentioned in my earlier point, we are not advisory, we are not consulting, we are hardcore implementation. The gap that people really feel. So just before Practus, I just completed 4 years with Practus. Before that, I was with Gartner. And Gartner, the biggest pain point when I was speaking to the CEOs was how do I solve the problem of implementation? I know you guys are the best in the advisory, and I really appreciate your advice. But I need somebody to really come onto the ground and solve it for me. And that's when I saw that right fitment with Practus, that they were solving the execution problem. So that's what we do. We take the headache from your side to our side. So we are like one team to solve that problem. And the last on which the topic was, how do we provide the ROI? So any fee that we charge to our clients, whether it is on the CFO side or finance transformation side, we commit. And I'm in front of such a large audience, I'm also using the word commit very judiciously. We commit the payback on the fee that we are charging. So 1x is always committed to you. And these commitments of savings are not intangible savings that I'm talking about. I'm talking about tangible, hard cash in your bank. So that's the commitment that we have. We also do a lot of skin in the game projects where after the 1x saving has been delivered to you, what we really say and commit to the client saying that beyond 1x, let's have a sharing of the additional saving. So maybe 10%, 15% of the additional saving that we are able to generate for you, you pay it to us in terms of success fee. I'll just take maybe one or two examples of what do I mean by the hardcore tangible saving. So the tangible saving would be, say, if a client is facing a very high DSO, because it's a finance audience, so I'm using the acronyms very easily. I know everybody would be able to understand very easily. So if a client has a very high DSO, say 150 days, and with our intervention, we are able to bring the DSO down from 150 days to, say, 120 days. So 30 days of DSO reduction is a clear-cut working capital improvement for your. See, other example could be vendor negotiation or excess capital allocation. And like that, we have identified about 30 line items. It could be, say, purchase cost reduction, reverse auctioning, inventory optimization. So each and every area for a client, we have identified 30 such line items, and we have built a framework around that. As to how do we tangibly calculate that from the baseline when we are starting the project and when we are ending the project. So client is very easily able to see the improvement and the cash in the bank. And if you have more questions around that, I'm here the entire day and maybe happy to take those questions on that. These are some of our clients. I think from the large organization standpoint, if you look at pretty much every industry, stalwart is with us. So the likes of Flipkart, Oyo, Blue Star, Ravens, Panswara, Delivery, Dentsu, VFS, Ad Factors, HUL. So we have worked with all of these clients. For the CFO, we have solved some of the problems. And most of these problems are not finance problems anymore. For CFOs, these days are all business problems. For example, for Flipkart, we are not solving a finance problem. We are solving a reverse logistics problem. We also work with a lot of VC and PE funds. Through them, we also work for their investee companies to get a better IRR and have better efficiency output from the investee company so that these funds have a better control and better IRR for their companies. And that's me and my team, and we are here. Any questions? I still have 2 minutes on my clock, and happy to take them now or anytime later. That's my time. Thank you so much.